Yes, Mr. Gumazin, any further cross-examination?
Sorry, madam.
Any further cross-examination?
Yes.
Yes, continue. You're still under oath, Brigadier?
Yes, my lord. We were dealing with the arrest of accused number 2 on the 16th of June 2020 with the murder case of Kwanongo. So I have perused the docket 163/04/2018, and I have confirmed that Uniselan Butelis was sentenced to life. Can you confirm that?
Ukade ukhuluma ngokuboshwa kukaMmangalelwa wesibini kulecala lika laseNongoma na ukuthi sengibonile ukuthi uqiniselani yena wakwedwa udilika jele iqiniso uthi yena.
He was actually convicted on 6 counts, my lord. Yesterday I made a mistake of not checking the B section where the sentence was actually recorded and also stamped by the High Court of Pietermaritzburg. So he was sentenced on 6 counts, including a murder charge and obvious ambition and other counts. But they are all listed here and cancelled.
Yeah, just mention them because I'm not aware of them.
Uqiniselani yena ugwetshwe kwamaqala kwaye ulahlwe amaqala ayisithupha. Na ukuthi izolo ngikhohliwe ukuwasho manje inkosi enkantolo ithi ubabukininda awasho.
My lord, he was convicted on count 1, which is a count of murder, read with section 5(1) subsection 1 and part 1 of the schedule 2 of the Act 105 of 1967 and further read with section 258 of Act 51 of 1977, and on that sentence the accused is sentenced to undergo life imprisonment.
Icala lokuqala lokubulala ummangalelwa yena uye wagwetshwa udilika jele.
Then count 2, attempted murder, read with section 258 of Act 51 of 1977, accused is sentenced to undergo 7 years imprisonment.
Elesibini lokuzama ukubulala ummangalelwa uye wagwetshwa iminyaka eyisikhombisa.
Count 3, contravention of section 3, read with section 1, 17, 18, 19, and 20 and 103 as well as 107, 120, bracket 1 subsection A, 121 read with schedule 4 and section 151 of the Firearms Control Act 60 of 2000 read with section 51 subsection 2 and part 2 of the schedule 2 of the Act of 105 of 1997 further read with section 250 of the Criminal Procedure Act 51 of 1997, unlawful possession of firearm. On that count, the accused is sentenced to undergo 15 years imprisonment.
Kwicala lesithathu uqiniselane lokutholakala ephethe isibhamu esingekho emthethweni yena wagwetshwa iminyaka eyi-15.
Count 4, contravention of section 90 read with section 1, section 102, section 117, section 120, subsection 1, paragraph A, section 121 read with schedule 4 and section 151 of the Firearms Control Act 60 of 2000 and further read with section 250 of Act 51 of 1977, possession of unlawful ammunition. The accused is sentenced to undergo 2 years imprisonment.
Qiniselani kwicala lokuphatha inhlamvu ebesikade zingekho emthethweni uye wagwetshwa iminyaka emibili.
On count 11, my lord, contravention of section 3 read with section 1, 17, 18, 19, 20, 103, 117, 120, subsection 1, paragraph A, 121, read with schedule 4 of section 151 of the Firearms Control Act 60 of 2000, read with section 5.1 subsection 2 and part 2 of schedule 2 of Act 105 of 1997, further read with section 250 of the Criminal Procedure Act 51 of 1977, unlawful possession of a firearm. The accused is sentenced to undergo 15 years imprisonment.
Kaleni lesine ukubamba isibhamu ebesikade singekho emthethweni yena uye wagwetshwa iminyaka e15 ngisho yena uqiniselane.
And then the last count, 12 months, alternative contravention of section 4.1, paragraph 4, paragraph F, subsection 4, read with section 1, 17, 18, 19, 20, 103, 117, 120, and 121, read with section 4 of the Firearms Control Act 60 of 2000, read with section 5.1 subsection 2 and part of schedule 2 of the Act 105 of 1997, and further read with section 250 of Act 51 of 1977, possession of prohibited firearm to with firearm with serial number erased, and there the accused is sentenced to undergo 2 years imprisonment. That is the sentence.
Wagwetshwa iminyaka emibini ukuphatha isibhamu ebesikade singavunyelwanga ubekade leso sibhamu amanombolo waso asuliwe yena ugwetshwe iminyaka emibini uqiniselane.
So I just want to find out if sorry the date in which this accused was sentenced.
My Lord, so according to the date of the but now this is not the original, it's the one that I had here. Oh yes, according to the stamp, my Lord, from the Pietermaritzburg High Court, clerk of the court, my Lord, it's 2022-03-23, so 2022 March the 25th.
Ummangalelwa yena wagwetshwa ke nge-25 zika March ku-2022.
Yes. So he was the only accused person in that matter, according to the information contained in the docket.
I can only confirm that he was the only one convicted, my Lord. I can't say if someone else was perhaps not acquitted, because I didn't attend that matter, my Lord. It was not our matter.
Uyena yedwa na ummangalelwa obekade ethweshelwa amacala uthi ubrigadier, mina ngingasho ngithi uyena yedwa obekade egwetshiwe, angazi ukuthi bakhona abanye ngoba mina angizange ngiye kulelo cala.
All right. Insofar as accused number 2 is concerned, under that cast number, how is he linked?
Well, I know that is linked by a witness, my Lord. According to counsel has seen it. He was arrested. That's why Sergeant Mkhane and Mapena arrested him. There is a statement of a person who links him on a number of issues. That he was participating, or rather alleged to have been participating unlawfully on, my Lord.
Manje, kuleli cala lakwaNongoma, uNtanzi uhlangana njani nalo? Uthi ubrigadier uhlanganiswa ukuthi kunofakazi owayenza istatement. Statement ekuthi sikhuluma ngokuthi uNtanzi yena wenzeni kulo lelo cala lakwaNongoma.
In addition, my Lord, there was this intelligence. The late Sergeant Mapena was from crime intelligence, so I know that they were working on intelligence-driven operation as well, insofar as accused 2 is concerned, my Lord.
Futhi nomufi uSergeant Mapena wayekade esebenzisana wayekade kuyiphoyisa elisebenzisana naboqwepheshe bamaphoyisa naye ubekade eyingxenye yokuphenya lelo cala.
So when looking at the statements of the arresting officers under the docket, it has been stated that the sentenced accused, Buthelezi, was arrested on a J50 warrant of arrest. Have you seen that?
I've seen when I was basically perusing the docket, my Lord, but like I said, this is not my matter. The matter is assigned to Sergeant Mkhane, and then in case it is investigated by other people. But yes, I've seen a statement that seems to talk to that, my lord.
ubonile na ukuthi uqiniselani Buthelezi yena ubekade eboshwe ngemva kokuthi kuye kwakhishwa noma kwatholwa incwadi egunyazwa ukuthi aboshwe uthi lokho ngikubonile kodwa akulona icala emina bengisebenza kulo kodwa ngibonile lento eweyibuza.
And I'm saying this, my lord, because I don't want to speculate or state certain things on those matters as a fact when I was not privy to. I can talk to 636 because I'm directly involved. Here, I just came with a docket because I was asked to, so I can assist the court as much as I can, my lord, but I can't commit on certain aspects that I'm really not 100% privy to.
Futhi ke khona lapho angifune ukuqagela izinto ukuthi lezo ngizibonile ingakho ngingafuna ukuqagela ngikhulume izinto engingazazi mina ngifuna ukusiza inkantolo ngakho konke engingakwazi ukuthi ngiyisize ngakho.
But Mr. Kinenda, there's one problem I have in relation to the evidence of Sergeant Mkhane. When we confronted him with the information relating to case number 163, he kept on saying everything is with Brigadier Kinenda. The docket is with Brigadier Kinenda, to the extent that he failed to secure the docket until he concluded his. Who must we rely on between you and the evidence of Sergeant Mkhane?
My lord, I can say before Sergeant Mkhane had concluded, I think on the last day, the docket was found, before his evidence was concluded, and I spoke to Advocate Baloy about it. It is true, my lord, that he had difficulty in accessing where the docket was kept with other dockets in the safe. There was difficulty in terms of locating, because during that time, the person, if I recall, was in possession of that key, was not around. So they've undergone investigation out of the province. That was the challenge, not that the docket was with me personally. No, it wasn't with me, my lord.
Manje phakathi kwakho no Sergeant Mkhane sikholwe bani ngoba ngalesikhathi ela ubekade ethi akakwazi ukuthola idokodo ngoba likuwe manje ubrigadier uphendula uthi uyakhumbula ukuthi ngaphambi kokuthi uSergeant Mkhane aqede ubufakazi bakhe uyiye latholakala idokodo ngoba ngalesikhathi elibele phana ngobufakazi umuntu obekade ephethe isikhiya salapho sala amadokedo asala khona bekade engekho ingakho ekade ehlupheka ukuthi atholele le dokodo.
I'm putting to you that after perusal of the docket, there's nothing, absolutely nothing, directly or indirectly, that links accused number 2 with the murder case.
The statement, my lord, the statement mentioned his name. It implicates him, and Sergeant Mkhane also disposed the affidavit. A warning statement was taken from accused 2. I can take it insofar as that. If counsel then wants to question the extent of the evidence, I think the IO will be a better person to take it further, my lord.
Ngiyakutshela ngiyakwazisa futhi nokuthi mangiqeda ukufunda leli yadokodo ayikho into ebandakanisa untanzi naleli dokodo lakwaNongoma. Uma ephendula ubrigadier uthi istatement siyasho futhi siphinda sichaze negama likaNtanzi nokuthi wenzeni. Uma ingabe ummeli angafuna ukuthi lelo daba alibuze futhi azalibuze futhi angahle usajeni loyano yenze istatement nalabo abanye angakwazi ukuthi nabo ababuze kodwa ubrigadier uthi yena ufakaza ngalokho akubona manje.
Thank you. Brigadier, the matter has been finalized in Pietermaritzburg High Court. Was there any application for separation of trials if there were more than one accused persons?
No, not from us. Like I said, my lord, it's a number of dockets. I know that insofar as accused 2, a counsel has seen the statement. He would have seen that there are a number of names mentioned there. It's not only him, and I don't want to go there unless I'm asked, my lord. And they are mentioned in relation to a number of dockets that were committed in different places, different provinces. Those dockets, some of them, and most of them were collected dockets. Those that were sub judice copies were collected at the time, and then later, not to disturb those proceedings, originally were collected. And we're of the view, my lord, because of security reason, safety reason, the magnitude of the perpetrators or suspects that were involved there, that we should rather try and conclude the investigation, present the docket to the DPP for centralization, so that when you move on one jurisdiction, because otherwise we would have had a situation where, for example, accused number 1 is taken all over the country, my lord. By so doing, beside the cost implication, there's a risk factor because the crimes involved are very, very serious and dangerous cases involved. We're talking about premeditated murders, firearms being involved, small firearms, ammunition, high-profile individuals being assassinated across the country. It's not an easy situation where you can just separate. There's a risk factor that needed to be considered.
Manje njengoba kunommangalelwa oyedwa oye wakwetshwa kuye kwaba mhlawumbe nesicelo sokuthi lamacala ahlukaniswe uthi ubrigadier cha ngoba lelicala icala ukuthi kunabantu abaningi ababandakanyekayo kulo lelicala akusuntanzi yedwa maningi amagama akhulunyiwe akafune kuwasho ngaphandle kokuthi inkosi yenkantolo ingathi awasho lawo magama ngoba abantu abaningi futhi amacala ambalwa noma amaningi ayekuthi ayenzekile eyindaweni ezihlukile ingakho ukuthi akuzange kuthiwa lo muntu untanze aze ahlanganiswe kuwo wonke lamacala ngoba bekwamele ukuthi asuswe endaweni kusuka kule ndawo aye kwenye indawo lokho kwamele kuvikelwe futhi abantu naye avikelwe ngoba kungamacala amaningi ahlanganisa ibhamu nezinhlamvu ukuthi zikhona kuwo lawo macala la.
Mr. Brigadier Gininda, let me just be honest to you to say there's only one statement under 163 which mentions the name of Bomani Dance, and that single statement is attached to 3 other different dockets, and it relates to the merits on 163. I'm not sure whether you made copies and attached to other dockets that does not relate with other cases, but the subject of what I'm concerned about is that there's only one statement by Simpiwe Buthelezi who only talks about something overhead.
I don't agree. That's not my understanding of what the statement says, my lord. It's not something that he overheard. That's the first part. Then the second part, in that statement, he talks about various issues. He mentions issues of murder. He mentions issues of heat in the textile-related environment. He mentions issues of firearms. And that is why those statements, and in the warning statement, my lord, warning statement, when accused 2 was questioned, he was questioned in relation to different cases. Those cases are mentioned in the warning statement. Counsel have seen them. So that is why the statement relates to different matters. It was made by one person, but it implicates accused 2 with other people on various different matters, including the 163 docket.
Chike ummeli yena uma ebuka kune statement esodwa ukuthi sikhuluma ngontanzi kodwa leso statement sifakwe kumadokodo ahlukile ubrigadier uma iphendula uthi uyala leso statement akusona statement esifanayo kulamadokodo statement ukuthi lo muntu wakabuthelezi ushilo ukuthi kwenzakeleni futhi amacala ahlukile uhlanganisa amacala wokubulala amacala weyibhamu amacala weyinhlamvu amacala ahlukile ukuthi uButhelezi ukhulume ngawo ingakho istatement zihlukile and my lord the accused is raising his hand.
Tell me, you are saying, I mean, you are senior people, you are saying Simpiwe Buthelezi, that's the deponent.
That's correct, my lord.
You say he links, this statement links the accused with several cases.
Correct, my lord.
Including firearms, ammunition, etc.
Correct, my lord.
And now Mr. Gomez says, no, that is not so.
My lord, it is so because not.
Where is the statement?
It is here, my lord.
Just read it. Yes, because I can't have 2 officers of the court. You are a senior officer.
My lord, can I make a request? The statement is here, and in this statement, I wanted to say the part that he also mentions this case.
May I mention it? Because
yes. Now, my concern,
2 people reading the same statement and giving it a different interpretation. So I want to hear.
Yes. My lord, can I make a request? Just a quick request. In this statement, I don't know, the court can just advise. There are names mentioned here. Of witnesses which are known to this accused, because this statement does not only involve accused 2, I didn't want to mention the other accused. And this is the part that...
No, you know what? Just read that statement with everybody there, every name there. Jesus.
Manje kune statement ukuthi wena ukhuluma ngaso ummeli naye ukhuluma ngaso ukuthi nobabini ningabantu ukuthi niphethe ikhundla eziphezulu nikhuluma ngestatement ingathi azifani manje inkosi yenkantolo ithi funda.
And whose statement is that? Is that
yonke into ebhalwe
the defendant there, what's his name?
It's Simpiwe Buthelezi, my lord.
Mr. Ngomizulu, are you referring to that?
That's correct. That's correct.
Okay, just read the statement so that
funda statement lisika Buthelezi.
Who's that?
It's not an objection.
So what is it per se?
It's just a concern that I have in view of the order that the court gave me. Remember the court said that in the interest of privilege or in the secrecy, the information that is contained in the direction not actually be revealed.
Yes, I said that. But what do you do, Mr. Mlisi, when you have two senior advocate, a brigadier,
Yes.
they read the same statement,
Yes.
and they're telling this court different things?
I think there's a way in which that can be resolved.
No, me, I don't want secrets. Just read it. Yeah.
Manje inkantolo ithi afunde namagama walabantu akhulunywe kule statement. Nangokho bekwamele ubrigadier bekathi ucela ukuthi angafundwa inkosi yenkantolo ithi afunde asho nalawo magama wabantu. Uyafunda ubrigadier.
I, Simpiwe Buthelezi, state under oath in English. I am an adult male born on the 5th of March 1974, residing in Kwanongoma, KwaZulu-Natal, and currently unemployed and no contact number at the moment. I know Qiniselani Buthelezi and know known Mkhwanazi from the same area, or known him as Mkhwanazi from the same area in Mahlabatini village in Nongoma, where we both grew up. He is a known hitman around Natal and Johannesburg. Qiniselani has committed many crimes such as murder, possession of different caliber of firearms. Some of the firearms that Qiniselani used in killing people are supplied to him by a well-known gun supplier by the name of Bongani Ntanzi, Mafika Ntanzi, who also comes from Nongoma area. Ntanzi Mafika is a very quiet gentleman and no one cannot suspect him. He is a firearm supplier and ammunition. Bongani Mafika Ntanzi is working in TA6 MT Carltonville, where he is operating from together. My lord, I'm struggling, so I'll try to read, make sense of what I'm reading. From together with brother, operating from together, I can't see, operating together with Basotho nationals. He's working together and operating with Basotho national. They supply the hitmen and others kind of firearms and ammunition around the country, and somehow here the firearms or sometimes hire firearms to hitmen. Qiniselani Buthelezi is a very connected person, and some of his case are thrown out of court when he is arrested. Qiniselani, who sometimes hire people to help with bribe the police and the prosecutors and etc. and then the magistrate, and he even bragged that around November 2012 he kept I can't say this much, but he kept possession of, or he was found in possession of an AK-47 and ammunition, and was the court will bear with me. It's handwriting issue. He further told that the firearm was Bongane's Tanzi, Mafika Tanzi, and he further told me that the AK-47 was one used to rob ShopRite in Phosphorus by Bongane Tanzi and another man by the name of Nkani Ntuli and other unknown people to him. Policemen were shot. Around January 2014, I decided to move from Nongoma to stay in Mazulu Hostel in Phosphorus to try and make a living for myself. So I can so that I can make mine. I suppose that's what I wanted to say, my lord. And I stayed working as a taxi rank, marshal car and minibus. Sure. And the driver, with I know approach by the name of taxi drivers. Sure, my lord, you just have to bear with me. This for a gun to possess the firearm. And so it seems, my lord, he says he was approached by somebody, the taxi rank, taxi driver looking for a gun, or he was approached by a taxi driver looking for a gun to protect himself. And he specifically said he wants a hot firearm, mentioning unlicensed one known as a pistol. I immediately contacted Kiliselani to hook me up with Mafika Ntanzi. He now stays, whom now stays in Johannesburg. Mafika Ntanzi brought a 9mm pistol, and I took it to the taxi driver, and a 9mm myself. Then I received cash for the safe transaction and ammunition, because the middleman of the firearm and ammunition, as a middleman of the firearm and ammunition, I was. Sure, my lord, my sincere apology. This handwriting is difficult for me sometimes. Bongane Ntanzi used two firearms in Phosphorus house and surroundings, and had some secret meetings at the hostel with other people and share, I can't say what he said, or share certain things with me, or share certain things with me, and I am talking about June 2014. There was a time around October 2014 where we used to hang out around with the hostel from home in Wanongoma by the name of Carlos. There was a time in 2014 where I used to hang out with the homies from Wanongoma, and the name of those people, my lord, seems to be Carlos, Mapisa, Nkani, Muzi, in a room where Kwabeni resides. Kwabeni is also from Wanongoma. Around November 2014, Bongane Ntanzi started to give me attention. He was always visiting me, and sometimes bring firearm to show to people. I also noticed that he was not the same Bongane I know. He became distant and not talk like before. And when I asked him, he said something is working him, but I must not worry. He is sorry. He will solve it. We continue selling firearms to Keniselani and other people, especially in KwaZulu-Natal, because there is a high demand of unlicensed firearm and ammunition. There was a time where Ntanzi Mafika worked from Carltonville to Rustenburg. He found a better job in the MTE, and he still continued supplying firearms and ammunition. There was a time around the year 2017 where Bongane sold a 9mm pistol with ammunition to Keniselani. That pistol had a special name and made Keniselani to have power and bragging that he is carrying a very Payson, I don't know what it means, my lord, Payson pistol with a special hand, something special handmade, my love, and it was where at Fosorasio. I don't know where Bongane Mafikantanzi got this firearm from, and he didn't want to show me his supplier. Bongane Ntanzi was staying in Rustenburg and making money securing firearms, and I also heard from Keniselani that Bongane is now making more money in that province. He also supplies more firearms in Marikana, and is doing where I am involved. Bongane Mafika Ntanzi invited me to visit him in Rustenburg at Pukeng, and he told Coach will bear with me, my lord. The handwriting of the person who took the statement is just a bit difficult. Where he kept there and overheard him talking on the phone with my Mapisa, or invited me to visit him in Carltonville and Rustenburg, where I overheard him talking on the phone with my Mapisa that they did a good job by killing a union member in Marikana. And Mapisa must make sure that Kwabeni pay them the money, because he did not want to be, he must pay the money because he did not want to be traced. Well, must make sure he must pay them the money because he did not want to be traced with bank accounts. I heard that the person that was killed is a big person and very powerful, and I asked him, is he also started killing people? And he said to me, it is a man's job that he had to do because he need money to make a better living, and I warned him about it. Bongane used to keep small quantity of firearm and ammunition in his room to set a secure rear out in the confrontation. And yeah, and he roof. He used to keep firearms in his room, and the roof of his room, in a bag, a cover, and then a blanket. I used to move around Nongoma and Phosphorus, pointing some job selling firearms for me and Bongani Ntanzi and Keniselani, and was our customer, because by now and then a higher price. Yes, my Lord. Keniselani, sometimes he knew the firearm. He used the firearms to kill people, and I discovered that Keniselani had a lot of cases which is being arrested or investigated for killing people. Around June 2020, I went to Phosphorus and had Muzi Sibia and his girlfriend. Muzi Sibia had serious, I don't know, his girlfriend regarding he seriously hit his girlfriend regarding the Senzo Meyiwa case, and attempted his father paid a policeman to cancel up the case. I also heard that Bongani Ntanzi, Mapisa, Carlos Nkani, Ntuli are involved in the murder of Senzo Meyiwa. I was very angry at them because they have killed a very important person who was the national goalkeeper of our football club and Orlando Pirates. Around May 2020, I was approached and visited by Sergeant Mabena and Sergeant Mukhane from the South African Police Service. I didn't know how they found me, because it was Carlos, by Carlos. And they started asking me, how do I know Keniselani Buthelezi and Bongani Ntanzi? Sergeant Mabena told me that I am a gun supplier, and I am supplying the hitmen with firearms and ammunition, and a lot of people were killed. And I became concerned and started shivering. I then cooperated with the police and told them what I know about Keniselani, Bongani Ntanzi. I told that I heard that Keniselani is arrested in Nongoma, and they asked me my gun involvement with Ntanzi, and explained that I was a middleman. My gun dealings with Ntanzi, and I explained that I was a middleman, just making money for myself. I voluntarily decided to work with the police to trace Bongani Ntanzi in Rustenburg. On the 16th of June 2020, I took the police to Pukeng and showed them a place where Bongani Ntanzi is staying. I also positively pointed him, or positively, I think it's identified him or pointed him, my lord, to Sergeant Mabena and Sergeant Mohane. Bongani was working at the time because of COVID-19. I am prepared to take the police to meet the witnesses that are also threatened by Ntanzi, Mapisa, Carlos Ntuli, and Keniselani. And their further names are Joseph Dambo, Fuzile Bali, Ntando Kumalo, Tepo Mukwena, Nontobeko Sitole, Dikeledi, Sirape and John Siyoka. I know and understand the contents, so that's basically the oath, my Lord, and then it was signed and commissioned by Sergeant Mokhane on 2020 June the 16th at 1400 hours. My apologies, my Lord, the handwriting, I was really struggling, my Lord.
Isona statement sakhe uSimpiwe Buthelezi ukuthi ngiyathemba ukuthi nisivile side kodwa uma ngisiqaphuna yena uthi uNtanzi bekade kuumuntu ophana ngeibhamu onika inkazi ukuthi zishaye abantu abahlukahlukene futhi ukhuluma namagama wabantu ukuthi obani labo bantu ukuthi uNtanzi wayekade banika ibhamu naye uke kwaba nesikhathi esebenza erank la ukuthi baye bamcela ukuthi kudingeka isibhamu esithize waxhumana noNtanzi wamnika sona leso sibhamu wakhokhelwa futhi kunomunye umuntu oyekuthi uye wasebenzisa isibhamu ebesinamandla kakhulu lo muntu wayekade hamba eqhoma yonke indawo ukuthi yena ushaya ngesinye isibhamu esingeke sivinjwe futhi ukhuluma ngalolu daba lecala lika Senzo Meyiwa ukuthi uNtanzi noSibiya kuke kwakhulunywa ubaba kaSibiya naye ingathi uke wakhothela amaphoyisa ukuthi azame ukucisha leli cala la ukuthi uma uqhubeka uthi yena uye wahambisa amaphoyisa uMabhena noMkhane wabayisa ephukeni labe uNtanzi ehlala khona wafika naye wakhomba uNtanzi ngaleso sikhathi uNtanzi wayekade esebenza ngaleso Northwest la ukuthi ubekade esebenza emayini futhi uyaqhubeka uthi uNtanzi ubekade emnika ezinye ibhamu ubekade engazi yena ukuthi uNtanzi uzithatha phi ithemakezwa uma ukhuluma amagama wenu nobahlanu madoda uthi ithemakezwa ukuthi nina nani ingxenye yalokubulalwa kuka Robert Senzo Meyiwa uthi wanithuthelela kakhulu ngoba nina nanikade nibulele unozinti wezwe futhi neOrlando Pirates uthi ke yena ke uzimisela ukuthi uyazwisisa yonke into ayibhalile futhi uyazimisela nokuthi angafunga. Thank you, my Lord. I just summarized the statement.
Yes, I've listened to the statements.
That's correct.
Yes, Mr. Buthelezi. I mean, Mr. Ngomezulu. Any other questions?
Yes. Do you know that this Siphiwe Buthelezi died in 2022?
Yes, I've heard, my Lord. He was also a witness. Subsequent to this information, I also pursued him, because he mentioned issues in relation to this matter. And followed up with him, and he gave us a statement which is in this docket 636, which is disclosed to the defense, and he does make implications of the other accused in that statement. So I am aware that he died subsequent to that, my Lord.
Uyazi ukuthi uSimpiwe Buthelezi lo wale statement yena washona ngo-2022 uthi yebo ngiyazi ngoba ngaya nakuye bengade ngifuna ngiphenya ngazo lezi document azenzile ngoba wayekade ekhuluma ngezinto ezibucayi kakhulu ingakho ngiyengaya kuye ngifuna olunye ulwazi ngiyazi ukuthi ngempela yena washo.
But the other witnesses are still alive, my Lord.
Kodwa abanye abufakazi bona basaphila.
All right. Regarding docket 163, we talk about murder in Kwanongo. According to that statement, I'm not talking about the truthfulness of what is there. It talks about a murder in Marikana. There's no mention of murder in Kwanongo. Do you agree?
No, it says that the man was involved in killing people all
Yes.
over. It says that. And so when the police, the investigators, they were plotting these matters because he made one statement, made various of different cases. Even then the Marikana matter, he didn't say this is the person. He gave like a prognosis of the things. Then we analyzed and got to a specific docket where indeed a high-profile person was found who was a union member who was assassinated. That's how we got to that docket. So even the murder that is referring to, he gives a direction of where the murder occurred. We dissected sort of that statement and we were able to identify those dockets and pull them one by one. So yes, if the question is, he didn't say at this specific place this person was killed is not the same, but it is clear if you read the statement that people were killed, firearms were used, and indeed Mr. Buthelezi was convicted for murder, and there's firearms also involved.
Ubonile na kule statement osanda kusifunda ukuthi uButhelezi uthe kubulawe umuntu eMarikana, akakhulumanga ngokubulawa komuntu wase Nongo. Uthi yebo, kodwa kulesi statement ushilo ukuthi kubulawe abantu endaweni ezihlukile. Ingakho nathi besikade siphenya kulezi indawo ezihlukile, akusukuthi bekwamele siphenye kuphela kuleli yacala lasePhukeni, ngoba ukhulume ngeindawo ezihlukile. Futhi naye uqiniselana uButhelezi uye wagwetshwa egwetshwa ngecala ekuthi belikade kukhulunywe ngalo kuso lesi statement.
And my Lord, I can say the essence of this statement is that there was, I believe, a reason for Sergeant Mokhane to make a move on accused number 2 on the 16th. That is really the essence of the basis of why they are approaching. A lot of things were said there, and I can tell this court, if I have to reveal the docket that actually we had to pursue or come to know about based on this information, others that we've got, it's more than 30, my Lord. And it's serious matters.
Of murder.
Murder, attempted murder, firearms, it's a lot, my Lord, that came. It's a lot. I can tell this court without it's a lot. We are not even done. And I don't want to say bad things about these accused because I'm being asked now by counsel for accused 1 and 2. But a lot has come up, my Lord. So it was not baseless. It is the truth.
Manje ke ukuthi uMokhane aye ayofunana noNtanzi uthi kwasasikhona isizathu ngoba nqaba yamacala ayikuthi sisawaphenya amanye seqediwe ukuphenya ngawo amanye asaphenywa namacala uthi uma engathi nje ukwabala angaba lapha ko-30 uthi akafune ukubonakala ingathi umuntu okhuluma uNtanzi kabi kodwa amacala amaningi amanye ahlanganisa ukubulalwa kwabantu amanye ahlanganisa ibhamu nezinhlamvu ezingekho emthethweni.
So let me just put it straight to you. I'm just putting to you to comment, and this is what actually emanate from the version of accused number 2. You have unlawfully and wrongfully arrested accused number 2 by accusing him with the murder charge, with the murder case under 163. And it is further my version that you had no other reason to contain him other than to put him under arrest so that you can solicit a confession from him.
My Lord, maybe just for clarity, is the statement saying I have unlawfully arrested accused 2 made in the general sense that the police, or is it directed to me in person?
You.
No, but I didn't arrest accused number 2.
No.
He was arrested by, I was not there even when he was arrested, my Lord. So that cannot be true. Yes, Sergeant Mokhane. And Sergeant Mokhane submitted his arrest statement. It's in the docket. It clearly indicates that he arrested him. I was not there.
Manje ummeli uthi uMangalelwa wesibini yena uthi uboshwe ngendlela engekho emthethweni amaphoyisa hlangana naye uSergeant Mokhane uthi ubrigadier yena ubona ukuthi bambophe ngendlela esemthethweni futhi noSergeant Mokhane naye washo kwi-statement sakhe naye ufakazile ukuthi uNtanzi uboshwe ngendlela esemthethweni ngoba kwekade kuneyinsolakalo zokuthi ubandakanyeka kwicala.
That is to say, on the 16th of June when he was arrested, the following day, the 17th, he was interrogated about the death of Senzo Meyiwa, not about the Nongoma case.
But that's not what is contained in the docket. It's not true. The warning statement, my Lord, which it's in the docket. Counsel must have seen it.
Whose warning statement is that?
For accused number 2.
It has never been.
For accused number 2. The docket.
Have you seen it, Mr.?
No, I haven't seen it.
The warning statement?
Yes.
No, but my Lord, it's attached.
We are dealing with the confession and they are pointing out.
My Lord, the warning statement is A8 in Nongoma 163. It indicates that he was questioned for this Nongoma 163 and other matters. Because these matters that were in Nongoma, case 163, a warning statement was taken from accused number 2 and he signed after the warning statement was taken, where he denied all the allegations. Allegations were put to him, case numbers were reflected, not one case. This Marikana case was mentioned, the robbery case was mentioned to him as articulated by this Mpiwe and Sergeant Mokhane, and they were put to him, he signed where he says he denies all the allegations.
Untanzi yena uthi uboshwe ngendlela engekho emthethweni ngoba uboshwa namuhla nge-16 zikaJune kusasa sekabuzwa ngecala lika Senzo Meyiwa. Ubrigadier uthi cha, lokho akwenzwa ngalanga kanjalo, ubuzwe ngamacala ahlukile futhi nakwi-statement ngalesikhathi ecebiswa uye watshelwa uNtanzi. Ummeli uthi akasibonanga leso statement, kodwa ubrigadier uthi sikhona la sinobufakazi buka AA la ukuthi uNtanzi wayekade ebuzwa ngama-case number ahlukile, amacala ahlukile, futhi nokuthi kwenzakeleni uNtanzi elibele ephika, kodwa ugcine seyikuthi uyasayina kuso leso statement.
Furthermore, my Lord, A5 of this docket, this portion that the court asked counsel to look at, A5, it's a notice of right, 14A, where this case 163 is written. It was made to accused to by Sergeant Mokhane, and it states clearly it's a murder charge. He was given this notice of rights and signed, and Sergeant Mokhane signed.
Futhi la kunencwadi eyikuthi ikubufakazi A5 la ikuthi ikhuluma ngecala lemeda, kukhulunywa ngalo lelicala le163 la ikuthi uSergeant Mokhane usayinile nawe Ntanzi usayinile khona la.
I think you fail to understand what I was saying. When he was arrested on the 16th of June 2020, he was arrested under the charge of murder, case number 16304/2018. That's what I was saying. I did not dispute that. But what I'm putting to you is that you used that docket to secure Ntanzi for the purpose of obtaining a confession from him. No. Number 2, to add on that, there's a docket 534/06/2020 for Sloras. I just want to know as well on that aspect, was Ntanzi charged and was he brought to court? Was that docket registered with the Sloras police station?
I'm not sure what docket is that, my Lord, but it's that Sloras 534. I'll let you
Which docket is that now?
The one
534. Which? What is the charge?
Possession, my Lord.
Possession of firearm.
No, for possession of drugs.
Drugs.
That's what Mokhane told this court.
So, you're putting it to him that
yes,
he used it in the case of drugs.
That's correct.
To get a confession.
Yes, I'll make a follow up on that.
To get a confession, fine.
Yes.
When was this docket of drugs opened? You know, Sergeant?
My Lord, I don't know. Sergeant,
when was this
not my docket.
According to Sergeant Mokhane, the docket was open in Sloras.
Yeah, on which date? Because you're linking it to a confession. I just want to know.
Yes.
How related?
Yes.
Yenakalazi ngoba akulona icala eyena asebenza kulo kodwa kuthiwa uSergeant Mokhane ukhulume ngalo.
May I remind the court that when we requested to see the dockets, both 534/06/2020 and 163, they were not provided to the defense.
Yeah, but you can approach your client. Was he ever arrested under case number 534 in connection with drugs?
That's what is.
And did he appear in court? When did he appear in court? Because just listen to me.
Yes.
You are the one who are linking that docket of dealing in drugs, and you're saying this witness, Brigadier Dinanda, used it as a pressure to obtain a confession from your client. Is that what you're saying?
That is so.
So that's why I want to know when was the docket opened? That's your client. When was he arrested at least?
May I
Yes,
approach
please.
him? I'm approaching.
Mayinkosi enkantolo ithi ummeli azobuza ukuthi uye waboshwa nini kuleli cala leyidakamizwa lasePhosphorus.
My instruction is that for the first time, accused number 2 heard about the the docket under 534 and 163 heard from Sergeant Mukhani. He has never been arrested and never been charged with such cases.
No, that's not how I recall the evidence of Sergeant Mukhale.
Mukhane.
No, not the lady, Manfoldis, as you call him.
I'm referring to the male.
No,
Mukhane.
I know. Wasn't Mukhale, sorry, the lady. Wasn't she the investigating officer? Mukhola.
So, no, for accused 2, my lord, it was Sergeant Mukhani, the male.
The male.
The male, yeah.
In relation to the drugs case.
No, so the drugs case, my lord, it was Sergeant Mukhola. The court is right. But that drugs-related case is Tembisa matter.
Yeah.
That is Sergeant Mukhola. The murder docket, and I think the case that counsel is referring to, they're saying it's Sergeant Mukhani. So that's the case that I'm lost about.
The murder docket. Which murder docket is that, sir?
The 163.
The one we're dealing with.
The one we are dealing with. I want to remind the court that accused number 2 was taken to Phosphorus on the 19th.
Yeah, that's when you said they must divert.
Yes, that's when they called Brigadier Kiminda, who told them that they must go to Moroka police station.
So my lord, perhaps let me start answering here. It is. I think the question was that they were never arrested. That's what counsel said. He said they were never arrested. I mean, accused 2 was never arrested for 163 and this drug dealing offense.
Yeah,
my response, my lord, insofar as 163, because I don't have the contents of the other docket that is referring to. Insofar as 163 of 4 2018, I don't agree with counsel because this is the docket he just read. The notice of rights are here, the warning statement is here, but furthermore, my lord, OB, occurrence book, that have been submitted as evidence in this court were presented, and it is clear that accused 2, after the arrest of the 16th, he was detained at the police station under this case number. So it will be incorrect that he was not arrested for this case number. And then he was then booked out, I think on the 19th in the morning hours, to court. This is the day now where they made a diversion and went to make a confession. So insofar as 163, I can confirm, my lord, that he was arrested. The other matter is the one that I'm saying, I don't want to say wrong things, my lord.
Uthi akafuna ukukhuluma izinto ezingasizona ubrigadier isikhulukazi uma kukhulunywa ngaleli cala leyidakamizwa uthi lelo akanalo ulwazi ngalo alaziyo yileli le163 la ukuthi uye uNtanzi uye waboshwa futhi Ntathakusa uye wakhishwa eyiswa enkantolo uthi lona icala alaziyo uma kuthiwa uNtanzi akazange aboshwe uthi ngaleli lika163 unesiqiniseko sokuthi uNtanzi waboshwa.
All right, let's just deal with 163 according to your evidence. Was he formally charged under docket 163? Was he ever brought to court under 163? Did he appear in Wanongoma court?
My lord, we dealt with this. I think I did indicate that yes, he was processed, now the formal processes.
Yes,
and what I was reported is that when he was taken to Phosphorus, where they intended to transfer him that side, there was the matter was not enrolled. together with another matter. That's what I was informed. I was not part of this process, but that's what I know, my lord. What I do know is that indeed on the OB he was booked out for court purposes, my lord.
Kuleli cala le 163 uNtanzi uye wathweswa na amacala wayiswa enkantolo futhi wavela na uthi ubrigadier mayiphendula yena unolwazi alizwe bamcebisa ukuthi uNtanzi ngempela yena uye waboshwa ukuyovela kwamanje kulayi ukuthi baye bamcebisa ukuthi akazange avele ngenxa yokuthi amacala lawo akazange athulwe enkantolo manje uthi lona ulwazi analo ngaleli cala le 163.
And that is why, my lord, so sorry, counsel, sorry, I don't mean to interject. My lord, that is why I said then, subsequent to us knowing that this matter was not enrolled, this is now this one, and there were these other matters in different provinces where I took a decision that let these matters be investigated, concluded, and presented so that we have one central point to move on as and when, you know, the investigation are concluded. But the magnitude of work, obviously, then, you know, has overtaken us up to this stage.
Ngemva kwalokho kula mina ithema ngizwa ukuthi leli cala alizange lifakwe enkantolo ngiye ngathatha isinqumo sokuthi wonke lamacala lawa ake aphenywe ukuze sizokwazi ukuthi siwahlanganise wonke, kodwa ngoba umsebenzi umningi gcine seyikuthi uphuma ezandleni zethu ukuthi sikwazi ukuphenya wonke lamacala ngesikhathi.
So let's get now into the aspect of a confession. Questions arising from the confession that was taken on the 19th of June 22. My instruction is that prior to the taking of that confession by Colonel Mboto, by Colonel Rapato, it's my instruction that accused number 2 was assaulted, subjected to torture, he was choked with the plastic, poured with water, and electrocuted. That was prior to the making of that confession. Will you dispute that?
It is, maybe let me understand, my lord, also. Is this assault saying I was there, or is it the general remark that happened in my
absentia? Of accused number 2. I said prior to the, and did not mention the name of anyone, prior to the alleged confession being taken, he was tortured. I'm still coming to the people who tortured him. I'm just putting the basis that he was tortured, electrocuted, and choked.
My lord, what I know, and I'm answering on the basis of what I know. When I interviewed him the first time on the 18th, with regard to the first alibi, there was no indication from him that he was assaulted, and he was not assaulted also at any stage when he was with me, and that is with regard to the following of his first false alibi, because that is when I came across him. He was given his rights in terms of the Constitution. I spoke to him. I did not detect or see any visible injuries, nor there was any of such complaint reported to me.
Mina ngalesikhathi ngikhuluma naye uNtanzi ngaphambi kokuthi azoyenza lesiya azogunyuluka laphayana, mina ngiye ngakhuluma naye ngimbuza, kodwa akazange angicebise ukuthi ushayiwe, ulinyaziwe noma unesikhalazo esithize. Ngaleso sikhathi ngikhuluma naye akazange nje angitshele lo.
Now, now moving forward, my lord, then the confession was made when I got hold of the document. This is now after meeting Colonel Rapado. In the documents, because it was given to me by Lieutenant Colonel Rapado, nowhere was it recorded that he's got any injuries or complaints.
Futhi ke ithema ngithola amaphepha asuka ku Lieutenant Colonel Rapado, yena akukho la ukuthi ubhale ukuthi uNtanzi wayekade elimele endaweni ethize.
Now, furthermore, my lord, when he was detained on the 16th, as I said, I assisted in coordinating the occurrence books. Nowhere on the detention office, just after his arrest, also when he was booked in and out on the 17th, the 18th, and 19th, leading to the confession, as well as after, we came back from Phuket, where the docket of ammunition was registered. All those OPs do not reflect that he was at any stage booked in or visited and found that he is complaining of assault or there are injuries that were seen. So on those bases, my lord, it would be difficult for me to say, he was assaulted. It was not brought to my attention. Evidence that is before this court suggests otherwise, my lord.
Kulamalanga ayikuthi ngibe nontanzi kusukela nge-18 kuyofika nge-19 fikela size siya nasephukeni. Asikho isikhathi la ukuthi kuye kwabhalwa khona phansi kwincwadi ezama-OB ukuthi untanzi ushayiwe. Angizange ngibone lapho ukuthi untanzi kubhalwe ukuthi ushayiwe noma ulimele endaweni ethile.
On the 18th in the evening, it's my version that Ntanzi was assaulted near an engine garage by Mabena, Jonathan, Utelezi, Mapumulo, and yes, it was next to an engine garage in Alberti.
My lord, I was not there. As I indicated, the last time I saw him on the 18th is when we were following the alibi in Carltonville. From there, we parted ways. So I will not. I was not there. All I can say, like I said earlier, my lord, there is no indication in the OPs, including the 18th, because I made arrangements to collect those OPs and peruse them. Nowhere it's documented, even on the entries of the 18th. I think he went back to the detention cells in the morning hours of the 19th, my lord, that he was booked in with injuries and subsequently booked out to court with injuries. Or further, when he went back, I think, to the police station next to Germiston, Primrose, as well as Phuket, none of those occurrence books, my lord, suggest such assertions, my lord. That's how far I can answer it, my lord.
Uthi untanzi yena nge-18 ushayiwe ngase-engine garage eshawa uMaphumulo, uButhelezi, uMabhena noJonathan. Bebalapho ngaleso sikhathi bemshaya. Uma iphendula ubrigadier uthi mina bengekho. Ngeke ngikwazi ukuphendula lokho, kodwa ithe uma ngihlola ama-OB wonke akukho la ukuthi kubhalwe ukuthi untanzi ushayiwe uma ezofakwa estorisini. Futhi nanoma ekhishwa ayisiwa kuleli police station elase-Primrose, akukho nala kubhaliwe ukuthi untanzi ukhishwa ushayiwe. Nanoma efika ngale akukho la kubhalwa ukuthi untanzi ufika eshayiwe.
And for your information, Sergeant Mkhane, when it was firstly put to him, during cross-examination, that Ntanzi was assaulted next to an engine garage by the persons that I've mentioned, he denied having been next to an engine garage, and he denied the assault. That's what Mkhane said. Firstly denied, but now getting into the AVL shows that there was a stop at engine garage in Albert, and he further confirmed that after he saw that the AVL shows the location of the vehicle at that time.
Yeah, my lord, no, I hear what Counsel is saying, but it's I don't know what to say. I was not here when Sergeant Mohammed testified. I was not there. I don't know how could I assist in that.
Manje ngikwazise eqaleni uMkhani ithe makukhulunywa ngendaba yase-engine yokushawa kukaMangalelwa, yena eshawayela abantu laba asesikhulume ngabo, yena uqale ephika ukuthi azange asondele ngase-engine garage. Ithe ke mase sekuvela lo kuyabufakazi be-AVL kulaye ukuthi uye washo ukuthi yebo bekangase-engine, kodwa ukushawa bona ugcine sekuthi uyaphika. Ubrigadier uthi mina bengingekho, ngeke ngikwazi ukuthi uMkhani utheni futhi nalaphayana e-engine mina kangingekho.
And listen about to submit that question is misleading, because the version that was put to Sergeant Mohan was that en route to Moroka on the 19th of June. That's when the assault took place. But this version was later adapted to say that the assault took place on the way back from Cottonville.
I'll differ with what my colleague is submitting. I'll make reference to the records. And the reason why my colleague is raising with this objection is because they knew and deliberately so omitted the location of the motor vehicle on the 18th on the reasons that they knew that it was an evidence that corroborated the version of accused number 2. I will submit with due respect that there is no such objection or statement made by Sergeant Mukhane. What is understood is that Sergeant Mukhane initially denied having taken accused number 2 next to an engine garage in the presence of Jonathan, Maphumulo, Buthelezi and the rest. And further, it has been denied by all these witnesses, I mean the SWAT unit, to be next to an engine garage at any given stage when it was put to them that Ntanzi was assaulted on the day. But what I can put to you now is that when Jonathan, Buthelezi, Maphumulo were cross-examined in relation to the version given by Ntanzi that he was assaulted next to an engine garage, they also denied having been next to the engine garage. They also denied having assaulted accused number 2.
As a we will repeat the same objection that the version that was put was that this assault happened on the 19th of June.
Not on the 18th.
On the way, yes. On the way to Moraka Police Station.
Yes.
That is not true. We definitely rely on our records. May I proceed, Madam?
Yes.
Yes. I'm putting to you that the version of accused number 2 is that on the 18th he was assaulted and later he was taken back to Pretoria North where he was kept. And 2 hours later or 3 hours later he was booked out again. No, that's not at all. After he was assaulted, around about 12 o'clock midnight, he was transported back to where he was kept at the police station. It was Pretoria North. So 2 hours. So when he was booked in at 2:30 in the morning, and was booked out around 5 or around 4 to take him to Vosloorus police station on the 19th. Can you dispute that?
The booking out, my lord, I will not dispute that because it's. I think I've seen, although I'm not sure about the time, but I will not dispute it because if it's not accurate, it's not far from that. So that part I will not dispute, my lord. The part that I want to dispute clearly and without a shadow of a doubt is the impression that the state, including myself, I suppose, we deliberately kept the information of the 18th because we knew that it has issues. That's not correct. When I received the request for the AVL, I made that application, my lord. I made that application. And the request was the information for the AVL to be provided from the 30th of May 2020 to the 24th of June. All the days. And when I say all the days, I'm not saying selected days. Every day. 30, 31, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Once that was obtained, my lord, because it was voluminous, I consulted with the state as to which parts to make it easier does the defense and the state wants to deal with. I was never given the date of the 18th. And when that is why the initial package didn't include the 18th, because I then took the request, not that I prepared it myself, sat with the expert and said, please package this information according to this date and submit your affidavits so that it can be presented. And that's how it was done, my lord. Later, when additional dates were requested, we followed that same pattern. So at no stage was information kept away. That is really not correct.
Nkosi enkantolo, indaba leyo yokuthi uNhlanzi uye wabuyiselwa esitokisini ebusuku uthi ubrigadier lokho angikuphikisi nangokho uma ngabe isikhathi singafani kodwa sicishe sisondela khona lapho. Indaba engifuna ukuyiphika ile ndaba yokuthi ilanga leli lange-18 bufakazi bakhona thina siye sabugodla ngenxa yokuthi besazi ukuthi kunento eshaya amanzi khona lapho. Uthi cha, asizange thina sagodla lutho ngoba lesi sicelo sokuthi kulethwe lokuyabufakazi be-AVL yimina ongafaka leso sicelo ngemva kokuthi sengiceliwe ukuthi kudingeka ubufakazi obunjalo. Yimina futhi ngasho wonke amalanga, angizange ngikhetha amalanga. Itheke mase sekuvela la enkantolo ukuthi kudingeka amalanga athize kulana khona ngiye ngathi kungodi loyana ukuthi asithumelele noma asenzele lawo malanga adingwa inkantolo futhi aphinde ayenze i-affidavit. Mina ayikho into ebengikade ngiyigodla.
May I just further take you on the version at engine garage? Sergeant Mkhane conceded when he was cross-examined on the AVL of the 18th of June 2020. He conceded to say he was at engine garage. That's where they bought water and some stuff. And further conceded that on that night he was later joined, or on that night he was further joined by the SWAT unit, that is Jonathan, Guteles and Mapumo.
My lord, obviously the issues of the engine garage and buying food, I was not told about it. What I do know is that on the 18th of June 2020, Sergeant Mkhane did report to me that the car was giving him mechanical issues. That I know. Subsequent to that, I did say he must get a backup because I knew they were in a company of accused two. I know he was joined by SWAT team members. I just didn't get the names as to who, but I know that at the time when they were at a specific area, there was a mechanical issue, and insofar as I was briefed, SWAT came to assist until the mechanical issue was resolved and they went to detain accused two. That's what I know about the presence of SWAT. It was to assist basically with the safekeeping of everyone.
Indaba yokuthengwa kokudla noma okuphuzwayo kwange-18 angizange ngitshelwe ngakho, angikwazi. Kodwa engikwazi ukuthi uSergeant Mkhane uye wangichazisela ukuthi nge-18 imoto yayikade imnika iyinkinga, kungakho ngiye ngamcebisa ukuthi afune i-backup. Yingakho egcine sekathola laba akukhulunywa ngabo, kodwa angizange ngitshelwe ukuthi abobani amagama walabantu laba abafikile bazomsiza, ngoba mina ngithi athole laba bazomsiza ngoba bengazi ukuthi unokumangalelwa wesibili.
And it was for the first time when confronted with the AVL of the 18th that Sergeant Mkhane gave evidence of the mechanical breakdown of a motor vehicle. During his evidence in chief, or even cross-examination before the AVLs, he never said anything about mechanical failure in the motor vehicle. I'm surprised that as the lead investigator, you want to support a statement that was never said initially by you, by Sergeant Mkhane.
My Lord, I don't know how the question was put to him. I'm simply narrating what was told to me, and subsequent to that, my Lord, the vehicle was indeed booked in the police garage in Benoni, because on the 24th, I know that they were using Sergeant when the confession, insofar as accused number 2 is concerned, at the Boksburg Magistrate Court is concerned, the car was already sitting in Benoni. So the reporting was made to me and is not meant to mislead or do anything. It's a fact that I was told, my Lord.
Mina akusukuthi ngifuna ukulahlekisa inkantolo noma ini, ngiye ngatshelwa ngokuthi imoto yayikade ihlupha futhi ummangalelwa wayekade hamba nabo naye uSergeant Mkhane. Angazi ukuthi ubuzwe kanjani ukuze azophendula ngale ndlela ummeli bekathi uphendule ngayo, kodwa mina ngiye ngatshelwa ukuthi imoto ibikade ihlupha futhi bebakade bangale ngasendaweni yaseBenoni.
My Lord, before we request an adjournment, with your permission, I am going to pause on this cross-examination for the 18th, because I didn't want to juxtapose and show no logic in what I'm asking. And I will provide the records tomorrow morning relating to the evidence that is now given by Brigadier Kininda about the AVL of the 24th of June. May I just have few questions on the AVL of the 24th? As I'm saying to you, putting what has been asked from Mr. Sergeant Mkhane, on the 24th, is it your evidence also? Can you confirm it under oath that on the 24th, the Toyota Fortuner was in Benoni and it was not transporting accused number 2 to Boksburg prison, to Boksburg court?
No, it was in Benoni. I think the AVL record, my Lord, shows that we gave it to the defense. It's not a point of contention. The AVL, I remember, went through it, and I think it was there few days before the 24th. My recollection, on the 24th, it is parked in Benoni. It's a mechanical police garage, my Lord.
Ngiyavuma ukuthi nge-24 imoto le i-Toyota Fortuner yayikade ingahambisi ummangalelo wesibini, ngoba ngiyazi futhi ngibonile nakwi-AVL ukuthi yapakwa laphaya eBenoni amalanga ngaphambi kokuthi i-24 zifike.
Yes. The reason why I requested permission or indulgence to the court to deal with the date of the 24th is because, firstly, I'll bring the records tomorrow in the morning, whereby there was a ruling by the court when we objected on the use or the giving evidence on the AVL, and the court made a ruling and I'll provide that ruling that has been made by the court, which was considered by Sergeant Mkhane to that motor vehicle was interlinked with the AVL, and there were certain areas that were also mentioned in that ruling relating to the Fortuner that was transporting accused number 2?
My Lord, I don't understand the interlink. What I know about AVL, it is assigned to a specific vehicle. You can't link it to another vehicle. It's assigned to a specific vehicle to monitor the driving, management of the driver, the location, the speed, but it's assigned to a specific vehicle. And the one that I saw, my Lord, like I said, my recollection and which I can provide, I do have that AVL. On the 24th of June 2020, the vehicle was parked in Benoni. The AVL shows that. So if it was interlinked with another vehicle, I don't know how, my Lord.
Sorry, Mr. Before you interpret it, sir, not interlinked with another vehicle.
Oh.
The evidence of Sergeant Mohani relating to the transportation of accused number 2 was interlinked. That's what I was saying. Not with another motor vehicle. You still dispute that he was transported on the 24th of June?
No, I don't dispute that he was transported from prison, from the police station, my Lord, because I made arrangements for the confession. I've said this in my evidence in chief. I didn't give instruction to Sergeant Mohane. I know that accused 2 was picked up from the police station, taken to Boksburg Magistrate Court, and that is where the confession by Magistrate Cronje was made, and then taken back. And that is the 24th of June 2020. What I'm saying is that in my recollection, the vehicle, the Toyota Fortuner, I think it's FV47LFGP, my Lord. That vehicle was at Benoni. He was not utilizing that vehicle. That's what I'm saying, my Lord.
Angiphiki ukuthi nge-24 ummangalelwa wasuswa esitokisini ayisiwa enkantolo ukuthi ayohlangana nomantshi uCronje ngalesikhathi eyogonyuluka, kodwa wayekade engahambi ngale Toyota Fortuner ekukhulunywa ngayo. Mina nginaleso siqiniseko sokuthi wayekade engahambi noma engahanjiswa ngale Fortuner ekukhulunywa ngayo.
I'll further give you the records tomorrow morning to confirm that Sergeant Mkhano led evidence that from the police station to Boksburg Court, he transported accused number 2 using a white Toyota Fortuner bearing the registration numbers that we have just said, and he was escorted by the SWAT members, and the SWAT members also, the evidence of Jonathan is there, evidence of Mapumulo is there, the evidence of Buthelezi is also there, that on that particular day when they took accused number 2 to make a confession in Boksburg Court, he was put into a Toyota Fortuner. This means that evidence that it was not in use. That means either the AVL is not accurate or the witness is deliberately misleading the court.
As a court, please note, that is not according to our recollection or the evidence of Sergeant Mkhano, but as counsel pointed out, we can peruse the record just to verify that aspect, but that is not according to our recollection.
May I adjourn, my Lord, for tomorrow? It's 3:30.
Mshushisi sukuma ephikisana nale ndaba obaba uMngqibelo ayishoyo ukuthi imoto kuthiwa yi-24 iFortuner ekade ihambisana noNtanzi. Manje uma ebuya ubaba uMngqibelo uthi ake silibeke khona lalo lidaba, sizophinda sibuye kusasa, uthi unobufakazi obubonisayo ukuthi uSergeant Mohani ukhulume kanjalo, futhi lokho bufakazi uzobuletha kusasa ekuseni.
Tomorrow at 10 o'clock.